Hey everybody, this is your host, Kallen Hale, coming at you with a very special Wednesday edition of the issues that come with being a disabled content creator. One of those is that I want to talk about today because, as I mentioned in my community post Monday, haven't really been sleeping that well due to pain. One of the things that I wanted to go over today is self care and not being so hard on yourself. Something I've been working on. So I feel bad I haven't been able to get the videos out, but I've been sleeping, kind of in a war of attrition with myself. Need to sleep so my body gets better. Can't sleep because I'm in too much pain. And for me, part of my self care is honestly doing videos. Getting content out, just vibing with a game is self-care to me. But also that comes with a caveat of I want to make decent content, and when I'm, as I have been the past few days, not sleeping, I feel bad because I'll be playing a game that's not for the channel. Like I broke out my Switch and was playing the new N64 releases on it. Just having a good time. Had my headphones in, watching the show, listening to podcasts. When I really started thinking about it, when I got up, I took some sleep meds. It helped me sleep a little bit last night. When I got up, I started thinking about why am I beating myself up for not being able to get this stuff done? Yes, this is my job. But I used to do that when I was working full-time in IT too. If I couldn't do something because my body wouldn't let me, I'd be really hard on myself for it. Like I'd ask myself, like, what am I doing wrong? I used to be better than this. And it kind of clicked in my head. I used to be. I'm not that person I was. I want to still be because my brain, the old brain pan says, yeah, you're still able to do the million things you used to be able to do on 30 minutes of sleep and be productive. Tried doing a bit of recording, went back and listened to them, and you could honestly hear how exhausted I was. I was not focused on the game at all. I was getting distracted. I was stopping mid-sentences at times where I would just completely forget what I was saying. So that content's been scrubbed. What I'm hoping to do today is, since I'm feeling a little bit better, get a few videos out, but not my full array this week. I know I didn't get to do it last week either. But still recovering, and I'm determined not to be too hard on myself. One of the self-care things I am going to be doing is I really like, this is just a me thing, I like bubble baths. I find them very relaxing. I'll put on a podcast, and I will take a bubble bath. Put some nice smelly oils in there, so I smell nice, I feel good. It doesn't always help with the pain I'm in, but it helps me at least feel good about me, and that's a big thing about self-care. Do something that makes you feel good, whether that's eating a guilty pleasure, which I did last night. Picked up some Mrs. T's frozen pierogies. Found the kind I liked at the store. Well, my partner actually did. And I was like, well, I have this plan for dinner. But then I mentioned in my spell slot episode that takes a lot of spell slots, a lot of mana I didn't really have yesterday. So I made myself some frozen pierogies. We watched one of our favorite streamers and just chilled while I read on my phone. My partner was writing, and we just had a quiet night. And to us both, that's self-care. Between being a content creator, I also run my own business. So while not sleeping, I was fielding phone calls. I had a few people ask if I'd be professional references for them. So that kind of added up and kept draining me more than I was allowing myself to recover. That is the opposite of self-care. If you're running on empty, you don't have any spell slots, you don't have any spoons, you don't have any mana, you're taking damage to yourself you don't need to take. You're hurting yourself more than you're helping. It is okay to say, I need to take a day, especially as a content creator, I need to take a day to recover and allow myself to be kind to myself. That's kind of what the past few days were, where I wasn't sleeping. I was like, I'm going to take some time. I'm going to be okay that I cannot, mostly yesterday, I was like, I'm going to be okay that I cannot get content out to y'all. And the way I did that is, I'm a huge Marvel nerd, as you've probably seen. I'm a comic nerd. I put on my X-Men anthology, and I watched that. And then I watched Guardians of the Galaxy. When I got tired of X-Men, I played a bit of ESO till my hands got too sore, and I was like, okay. And then I took a soak. Just turned out the lights, filled the tub up, put my bubbles in, took a warm rag, threw it over my shoulders, and I just vibed. I think that, just that little act of self-care and my guilty pleasure food really helped get my energy back where I wanted it to be, even though I only slept like 3 hours last night. I was actually planning on recording this at like 2 a.m. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put on Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I'm going to run up the offs a little bit. I'm just going to exist and chat with some friends. And that was my form of self-care. And I know it can be really hard in the hustle and bustle and, you know, the grind of life. But as we're disabled content creators, we can't do things the way everyone else does. We have to do things that match our speed, our pace, how we do it. I have plenty of friends who, like, you know, I miss being able to go running. I miss being able to go hiking. And damn it, I miss those things too. But I know I can get my body back to where I can go on short hikes. I can go on walks again. It's taken a while. And I'm paying for it later. I know I have to schedule that into my spell slots, like I mentioned in my last video, and how much mana I'm willing to use. But also it helps me mentally kind of clear my head. And that's kind of what yesterday was when I didn't sleep for another night. I laid in bed and I did the close your eyes and rest thing, listening to a podcast. But now I'm kind of shifting my gears of, okay, I'm not sleeping. I broke down, took sleep meds. My body doesn't always like them. It's kind of a crapshoot if it will work or if I'm going to wake up itchy. Even today, I'm going to record a few episodes. I'm going to launch them today. They're not going to be on the launch schedule I wanted to put them on. And I'm going to take a soak because I recognize, I tell people to be kind to yourselves. A part of being kind to yourself is self-care. And saying, you know what? My body is saying, I've been going too hard. Even though every part of me really wanted to get some content out and I was having fun reviewing it, it seemed like I was just a lethargic zombie, and I don't want that. That's not the content I really want the channel to be about. I want it to be about just chill games we're playing, having a good time. You guys watch it, have a good time. Again, you know, don't be so hard on yourself. If you can't do something, if anybody tells you, well, so-and-so could do it, I've got two fingers they can look at because, you know, I've heard, well, years ago you could run an 8-minute mile. Years ago I also didn't have a blown back, a blown knee, and a messed up shoulder too. So I have to adjust my expectations of myself. Other video we did, where I mentioned the spell slots. And so my expectation is, you know what, I'm gonna have to reel back a little bit, let my body catch up, actually sleep a decent night's sleep, and then get back to the hardcore grind because I enjoyed doing that. It filled my day with video games and networking and chatting with people. But even over the weekend, because I wasn't really sleeping well, my social batteries were gone. I responded to a bunch of Discord messages a few days later, just letting people know, hey, I was just wiped. And that's okay to say, I need to let myself recover so then I can be the best me I want to be. I wasn't doing that because I couldn't sleep. So I did do that. I did that yesterday. I was like, let me recover. Let me be kind to myself. Let me do some self-care. I ended up just lying on my office floor for a little bit while I had something playing on my big screen. I think it was one of the X-Men movies. Just grabbed a pillow from the bed, threw down a blanket, and I laid on my office floor. It's nice and carpeted. Lit an incense that I really like, and I just vibed for a couple hours yesterday. Turned off my phone. I was like, I can return the calls later. But that really helped me. That little bit of self-care helped me recover a lot today. And even though I didn't really sleep a lot last night, when I got up, I was like, you know what? I feel really good. I'm not going to push myself too much because I know I'm still in that need to do self-care phase to get my body where I want it to be. But I felt really good even though I didn't sleep a lot because I took that little bit of time to say, I need to do some self-care. I need to look after Kallen, and then I can better look after my partner. I can better look after my friends. But I can also better look after myself if I am in a better physical and mental state than I was in for not sleeping. So I'd like to thank everybody for tuning into this and hearing me ramble and talk about self-care and why it is important. As always, please make sure to hydrate, medicate if you have to, eat some good food, be kind to yourselves, and be kind to each other. And as always, folks, remember, self-care is important. And you're important. Especially when you're disabled, whether you're a content creator or not. Self-care, whether you're disabled or not. Self-care, even if it's a small thing just for you. If it's just sitting outside, reading a book in the quiet, vibing to a podcast, playing a game. That is very important, not just to your physical well-being, but your mental well-being. Thank you for tuning in and listening to me, folks. This is Kallen Hale, signing off.